I thought no superpower was bad.
No superpower is bad?
Reading minds would be one.
Would be a bad superpower?
No, that'd be.
If you couldn't turn it on and off.
There you go. That would be the key with reading minds, if you couldn't turn it on and off.
Well, then technically every superpower could be good, just depending on the limitations.
And the way you use them.
Okay. All right. So wasn't the way I expected this discussion to go. Okay, so what would be a bad superpower that you couldn't turn off, Miro?
Doing everything really, really fast.
Like super speed.
Okay. Okay. I always thought that was one of the dumbest superpowers anyway.
Super speed.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Exactly. Exactly. Then they made it so old, but because he has super speed, he can go through walls and things like that. Whatever. Whatever. Now you're just stretching the limits of it. Come on. All right.
It's not a traditional superpower. It never said it had to be, but you could just produce one spaghetti noodle from your finger.
Produce one spaghetti noodle from your finger. That would be a terrible superpower. You could be spaghetti person. Okay? You make
Could
pasta.
You only produce one and then your power's gone.
Only produce
That's
one.
it.
Is that like,
One
is
at a
it
time.
only
Like a
like
foot
slow?
long.
Because
Is
you
it
could
really
like.
slow too?
Yeah,
No,
like
no, you produce
slowly
one and then your
comes
power's
out.
gone. You're a human
I'm
now.
like, just like taking out the box together.
It's a one-time use.
You just have to like wait for them to be done.
okay. I like this. I gotta admit, I didn't think we would go there. Okay, that's this good
You
start,
never
ladies.
said it had to be a traditional
I
superpower.
didn't. It's up for your interpretation, and that would be a crappy superpower to have. I make pasta, and it takes me a long time to do it.
You're able to produce lava from your hands, but you're not heat resistant.
Now that would be rude. That would be crude. You can produce lava from your hands, but you are not
If
heat
you ever
resistant.
sneeze, you blow up. You just cut.
You guys are good. I gotta admit
You
this.
launch a nuclear missile somewhere in the world.
What was that?
If you sneeze, you launch a nuclear missile somewhere in the world, but you don't know where.
You don't know where it's going.
No, you just have to wait for the news.
Every time you blink, you get bit by a mosquito.
Jesus.
On your
Ooh.
Why would you do that?
On your eyes.
Ooh.
On your eyes?
Right on your eyelid.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Superpower.
We are taking bad and making it
Oh
worse.
my god.
Taking bad and making it worse.
Mr. Ben, favorite teacher.
Yeah. What do you need, sir?
Can I borrow some safety glasses?
Could you borrow some safety glasses? I don't have safety glasses. For what?
For a lab teacher?
In what class?
Woods?
I don't have safety glasses. I have goggles.
Yeah, that. Goggles.
So you want to borrow a pair of my safety goggles? Why don't you have goggles for Woods class? What do you mean you forgot?
I wasn't here yesterday, so I didn't know what I had to
You know, normally I rent them out, right? At 50 cents a day?
I got 50 cents.
No, I don't do taxes. Okay?
Inflation.
I'm keeping this out of the IRS's hands, okay?
Mr. Brandon.
I mean, like, that's expensive.
What?
50 cents.
So that you can see for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Yes.
50 cents a day.
You wouldn't spend 50 cents to be able to see for the rest of your life.
I don't think I have.
Bro,
50
that's
cents.
what you
I don't think I have 50 cents to spend.
If I got to keep them for 50 cents, yeah, I.
Well, for 2 1/4, you can keep
Give
them
me a
forever.
few
Well,
weeks
how
for
much do they
Christmas.
cost to?
I think they're 2 1/4 to get in the main office.
How much do they cost to make?
Bring this to me today, okay? Otherwise, you fail my class.
Yes, sir. Problem. I'll bring the money to you.
He's
You
not
would
going
go
to bring me the
Skittles
money.
commercial, and like anything you touch turns into Skittles.
In Minecraft.
Okay, that would not necessarily be a bad thing, though.
Will you
If you
actually-
like-
What about like? What
You
about
can't
like?
touch anything. Like you're gonna be like this your entire life.
Oh, like the
So, you
Midas
touch
touch?
this and it's Skittles.
Okay, so like the Midas touch where you touch things, it turns to gold. Okay.
Oh, that's like that one.
You're only-
That's what I
Ham,
said. Oh, I didn't hear you.
we've had this discussion, correct?
I forgot.
You forgot, which is why immediately when I looked at you, you kind of snuck it back in the container, and then Cynthia finished the rest of it. My superpower would be to make it so you guys would never eat again. Your mouth would be sewn shut.
That would be bad.
You're-
I mean, you could
No,
make that
you're-
close.
you're- yeah,
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. There's probably some sick person out there who does.
you're only able to turn invisible, but only when nobody's looking at you.
When no one's looking at you. Okay. So as soon as someone looks at you, you turn visible again. That would be a crappy superpower.
That would be.
How do you know if I know?
Does peripheral vision count?
That'd be scary
Uh,
because imagine
yes.
you're at your house alone
Because you can
and then
still
like
see
you
him.
turn invisible. That'd be scary. Like who's watching you?
You turn
Right?
How about
right?
How about a superpower of whenever someone asks you a
What?
question, you have to give them a completely honest answer?
I looked up bad superpowers, and one of them
But
was being
sometimes it's
ugly.
good to lie.
What if
I mean, that was a pretty bad superpower.
being ugly? What?
That is just a mean list.
Communing with squirrels.
Super seduction?
Knowing
Knowing the vibe of my
seduction.
heart? I
Oh,
feel like you could know that anyway.
Wow.
super
Having your
seduction
arms
technique, right?
detached, and then it just says ...
That's it. Just
Have
your
your
arms
arms
detached,
detached.
and it's only a one
What?
time.
So you're gonna grab
Mood
something and your
swings.
arms fall off.
Mood swings, the average teenage girl.
Here's a question though: if your arms detached, how do you get them put back on?
No, it's a one-time use. It just falls
Flying
off and
through
that's
the
it.
internet. What is this?
You
These
got
are the
magnets right here.
stupidest things ever.
I understand it, but when your arms fall off, how do you get them back up there?
They walk by
Sliding.
They walk by themselves.
The worst superpower, you turn into a werewolf.
That's true.
Balloon mimicry?
themselves. Wait, a good superpower would be like
What does
being
that
able
mean?
to clone yourself.
Wait, we're not into good superpowers here. We're into
Oh,
bad
just
superpowers.
bad ones.
But like that could be bad too. Like every time you cough,
It
there's
depends on
another
if you
Yeah.
clone yourself like a cell, like you split.
No,
That
every
is
time-
true because I don't know that I could handle more than one of Nadia.
Every time,
Why?
no.
I really
great.
If you randomly
Define great.
Every time you
Me.
cough, another version of you appears somewhere in the world.
Then at some point, it's just everywhere.
The world population becomes one. Miro 7 billion times.
What if we could make animals talk?
What if
That's Dr. Doolittle. That was kind of cool in that movie, wasn't
That's
it?
scary though.
No clue.
Would it be?
Back to the detaching arms.
Would it be really scary that every squirrel's walking around going, "Where are the nuts? I want to find the nuts. Where did I have the nuts?"
That was there, like,
Oh, that
before
was
I was
like,
born, that's like normalized when I was born. But like since I was born, when animals could talk, and then they just randomly start talking.
No,
That's
only
kinda
like
weird.
you have superpower to do that. Like obviously not everyone would be able to do
Then
that.
I look like a crazy person.
like talking to animals. Like,
Okay, so how's that different from now, Cynthia? I'm kidding.
Oh.
It did get her to finally shut up, though, ladies and gentlemen. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So, anybody else? Terrible superpower to have? I think super smell.
Does anyone else?
Being able to smell everything. I think that would be.
Especially if you weren't able to turn it off.
Oh yeah, especially if you
That-
weren't able to turn
any-
it off.
any-
Nadia,
any
you have your hand
hypersensitive-
actually
yeah, any
raised.
Does anyone else?
Any
think
You
hypersensitivity.
could be like
Does
the
anyone
best
else teach
detective
chemistry
ever.
here? No.
Dang it.
Why?
No, because super.
Well,
super
what if I
sight
could
would be
switch?
cool.
You
But,
could,
like,
but
without being able to turn it
you'd
off,
have to
you
go
can
to
imagine just,
earth
like,
science, environmental
You're basically
science,
just
or
bars
Well,
like
that's
this
one
in
of the
extra
differences.
space.
No.
You're stuck with me. I guess we're stuck together. We'll have to get through this together, okay?
We'll make it.
It
Being
wouldn't be
able to
overwhelming
liquefy
since our brains aren't used to that.
Being able to liquefy what?
Your brain would be used to it then.
I guess
You
you
do
should
this.
be born with it.
Super smell
As
would
in-
be
Oh,
good.
How about a super power would be everything you eat tastes like the worst food you ever ate?
Why would that?
Well, then you would have to
That's not a
avoid-
superpower.
That's the worst superpower to have,
But
though.
it's not.
No,
It's
but
a
you could
curse.
just avoid.
You can
like,
turn
these
into
are
a
not.
liquid, but you can't
like,
turn
Well,
it
isn't a
off.
superpower, isn't a power a curse in a way? I mean, if you're able to
Most
fly,
of
then you
it's
have to
curse.
save people who are falling because you can fly.
I don't hate
Isn't
that.
that
Okay,
kind
I
of a
just
curse?
want to let people know that I can fly.
Yeah, you didn't choose
You've
not
never
to.
seen anyone
This is
fall?
why villains are a thing.
Well, yeah,
Because
but
they choose not to save
Right.
those people, but they still have the
No,
powers.
and they choose to make
They
their
choose to
life
kill
worse
some
through those powers.
Yeah, I'm saying that you're like,
Well,
oh, well, you have
superheroes-
to do this. No, you
Superheroes
don't.
also choose to make
You
their
can
life
be a
worse
bad
in a
person
sense.
and still.
I mean,
power.
yeah, I mean,
Being a
I wouldn't want
superhero
somebody to
isn't
be
a
thrown
good
into my
thing
car.
necessarily. You do good things, but everything in your life kind of like crumbles.
Does anyone watch the series on Amazon, The Boys?
Oh, I just finished last season.
It's a series about superheroes who are genetically engineered, people who are genetically engineered to be superheroes, but they're not the nicest people in the world. So they end up not necessarily always saving people.
I would
I
say
would
they're
never
more
put
mentally
them.
unstable.
I think
Correct.
it would-
Correct. You talk about all the pressures of being a superhero thing. They've kind of cracked. Let's put it that way.
I
Yeah.
Oh,
don't know if I want it.
It's not
Motor
what
oil
you
in
Being able to what?
liquefy motor oil in France.
But
Only in
motor
France.
oil is already liquid.
Only in France.
And
I would
only in
say-
France.
But it's already a liquid. How can you liquefy something that's already a liquid?
Exactly.
I would say the worst superpower would be any power with like a condition to it. Like
Yeah, that's
you
what I
can
said.
travel around the
It could
world.
be any superpower. It just if it has a limitation, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
No,
Like, you have
like
to,
any
do a
given
pre-step
moment
before
in
you
the day,
unlock
you
the power.
teleport somewhere
I
in
can
the
fly,
world
but I gotta
and you
jump
don't
up
know where.
38 times before I do it.
Yes, but if you have the power,
You just have
power
to
of teleportation,
find
you
your
can
way
teleport
back.
back.
But you don't.
Not if
You
it's
just,
just
like,
on one
teleport
You
Yeah,
can
you're
way.
right.
randomly
But
teleport
that's not
somewhere.
like a power. That's just like a setback.
That's like a setback.
You can
That would be a major
Oh,
setback.
But only
That's
when
what
you're
I'm
breaking.
The best super or the worst superpower. You know the facts to something. if
Only
you
when
eat
you're
it.
about to die.
But you what?
If you eat it.
You know the facts to something
If you eat it.
if you eat it.
So if you
Yeah.
wrote chemistry on a piece
If
of
you were
paper,
in, if you were in
and eat
chemistry,
it.
Oh, I was thinking
you
like
would,
you
like,
drink
chug
some
the
acid
chemicals,
and
then
then
you
you're
know
like,
everything about the chemicals.
What about
Even
the
stuff that even stuff that we don't know now.
You can only hear chocolate when you're about to die.
Hear chocolate?
chocolate makes a sound?
Yeah,
do you
that's what
mean,
I was
pure
just saying. Here, chocolate.
You
Come
can drop chocolate.
You can what?
Or it can talk to you. I don't know. I'm using a
Okay, hey, we let the animals talk to
Oh,
Cynthia. We
wait.
can let the chocolate
Worst
talk to Leaf.
power,
It's okay.
knowing when you're gonna die.
Yeah. Knowing when, but not knowing how.
Knowing
knowing how you're gonna die. Like if you know that
Gotta
you're gonna
know
die in a
how,
car
yeah.
crash, you never get into a car again.
But
Yeah,
wouldn't that
that's
be
sidewalk,
easy then?
public transport.
But
Never
like-
get in a car again.
yeah.
But
You
like,
know,
but
then
that's
you
like
get
actually
crashed
hard
into
to
a
crash into your house. Like that's
Yeah, then that's gonna come back for you.
It's gonna.
See, that's like the question of people always say, well, if you travel back in time,
Oh, the grand.
you can't change anything. Why?
Because of the change.
Maybe you already traveled back in time and the future you're in now is because you changed something back then.
Then who
What?
started?
How would that?
I don't know. I don't
Maybe
know,
like-
but that's the point.
It's like
And
a butterfly.
there's like the whole grandfather paradox.
Yes. Grandfather, grandmother, grandson paradox.
I think, like,
Okay, good, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't expect it to go anywhere near this today. I just expected things like, super speed or super smelling or something like this. We definitely took this in a different direction, and that's okay,
Power
ladies and gentlemen.
smelling isn't a bad power.
But I mean, imagine like you.
What's
Could
that?
you imagine how good of a detective you would be if you had
Yeah,
super
but
smelling?
then you smell everything.
You smell
Deal with it.
everything.
You can solve every mystery.
you'd be
So
like
the
a
person
dog.
next to you lets out a little fart, and you're like, oh my God.
Now you're overwhelmed. And
Wait, you could super smell coming
I don't think you could even walk
Because
in a high
you-
smell.
have you
The amount of
never-
body odor.
I don't know. It's your super smell. You can have it however you want.
Have super smelling men because these people have never touched me in their lives.
Okay. Obviously, we're not going to do questions of the day anymore.
I think
Okay.
the superpower would be like if you could know when everybody was gonna die, but if you told them, then like you were gonna
Wait,
die.
this is-
It would change the course.
Yeah, then the date changes.
Okay, but then that becomes a question of would you sacrifice yourself for others? Because
It gets
Yeah.
closer
Again,
and closer
whatever.
to the date.
But then you
Okay.
only be able to sacrifice yourself for one person.
yeah, but once you're dead, you wouldn't know when anybody else was
No.
dying anyway, so it'd be over,
You
right?
no. I think
But like,
it's
still, what if you
like,
want to save multiple?
you see a
people?
number above everybody said you don't.
Exactly. You can't
Wait,
tell
do
them.
you
Sometimes you can't do it. Sometimes it comes to a 1-to-1. You or
What
them.
if you can't tell them, but like you like help them avoid it?
Oh,
I
what
would-
if you don't tell them, but you write down everything, and then when you tell someone,
That's
they die?
telling somebody whether you write it down or
No,
whether
I'm not
you
gonna give it to
pull
them.
up
They're
and
gonna
say it.
find it after I'm dead.
which is still telling them.
No.
But he's already dead, so
If
it
the
wouldn't matter
person
because
that's
he
gonna
died.
die finds out they're gonna die through you, then you're dead.
Okay,
You're
time to
like
get back.
Yeah.
Focus. Chemistry time now.
What if I write it
Chemistry
Yeah,
time
I
now.
can't do chemistry.
Open up your computers. Go to slides 31 and 32, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to start talking about sig figs. They have a superpower. They make it so we can understand numbers better, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? They make it so we can understand numbers better. So we are going to be able to identify sig figs in a measurement, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, have you turned everything in? Is everything caught up? Are you got everything done in IC? If not, you need to start getting that way because, again, on Friday we will have another quiz. We've got assignments up there that have been graded and put into the grade book. Normally, right now, it's a matter of doing really well or doing really poorly because you're either turning things in or you're not, so please get them turned in. Okay? All right. Yes, we'll probably have quizzes normally on Fridays and on tests at the end of the week too, depending on when it is. It makes a little more sense this week because Friday is a what for you? Don't say half day. Half day you would be done at 11:30. It's a shortened day. Early release day. We used to have traditional half days. Those were the greatest, ladies and gentlemen. You guys would leave halfway through the day and then we would continue.
Wait, slide 31?
Yes.
I still don't have that. Did I really miss that much?
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm not sure.
It's insane.
Open it up.
You know what?
Open up the assignment.
But I mean, we don't go through every slide.
Yeah, we didn't do the
Okay.
those
Go like 2
observations.
slides.
We didn't do 27 through 30. Although we did a couple at like 60.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
the
was
opening
kinda weird.
assignment.
60?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
You
right
just
in there
jumped
for
to, like
you.
60
I didn't
something.
It's right in there for you. Yep, I put it right into the assignment for you.
Thank
I
you.
hate this
You
so
bet.
much. I hate this so much.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
What do you hate so much?
I
Sig figs?
All of this.
Every
Why?
time I hear 60,
This is my
I
least
hear about,
favorite.
I think about
Okay.
Sigmund Freud. I don't know why.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we did cover slides. We're up to that. What slides do you think we missed?
Well, we jumped to like slide 60 something.
We did. We covered scientific notation the other day just so that we could briefly get through it. But we're
27, 29,
yeah. Those were some practice problems, which we went and did at the back anyway.
We did 62.
So we did those. Again, we're gonna move around. If I feel like you guys are getting things, we don't necessarily need to do as many practice problems, or I'll give it to you another way, like I did on the worksheet and in the back of the class the other day. But thank you for noticing. Thank you for paying attention. Okay. But yes, there are times where we will skip some things. All right. We are going to talk about sig figs, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. No, don't do that. God darn it.
It doesn't want us to do chemistry today.
No, one of the terrible things is when, like, this little box, you can't even see it. It pops up and it says connecting to your device and it goes away, or at least I want it to go away. So I hit unpin, but sometimes when you're up here flipping through your tabs, it'll pop down and you'll hit disconnect and then it'll disconnect like it just did. Sorry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sig figs. All right. First of all, there is a difference between a number and there is a difference between digits. Okay? Now, this whole thing down here, 1,342,365.1427 is a number. That whole thing together is a number. Now, if we put a unit on it, it would become a measurement. Okay? It would be what? You're not. They're in there because this is the slide that I picked because it had all of these places on it. I would take them out, but again, it was an image that I grabbed off of the internet. Okay? But we would prefer that you don't use commas. We will sometimes leave spaces in numbers, though, to make it easier to read how many places there are. Point being, this whole thing is a number, ladies and gentlemen. Within that number is made up of digits that are in certain places within that number. So like the metric system, when we talked about the base unit, and then we talked about deca and hecta and kilo, then we went to the other side and we talked about deci, centi, and milli. Kind of what we're talking about here, the places within a number. And you probably haven't done places within a number since you were a young kid in math class. But every number has a place here. The ones place, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands. Now it gets a little bit harder when we go over here because, again, people confuse tens and tenths with the TH on it. Tenths are to the right of the decimal, okay? And by the way, I don't like writing out the words when I'm talking about places. So I will use numbers to represent them. So for the tenths, I would put 0.1. For the hundredths, I would put 0.01. For the thousandths, I would put 0.001. For ones, I would use just the number 1. For tens, I'd use the number 10, hundreds. Anyway, you're gonna have the opportunity to either write out those words or write out those places later on. You can do whichever one you would like, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a little bit about a number. A number is a single value that represents a measured quantity. So it is what the height of this door would be in meters, in centimeters, something like that. It is one value that represents something that you measured. A number can have multiple digits. And most of the measurements, almost all of the measurements we take will have multiple digits. A number can have a decimal in it. Now, every number, even if it doesn't show it, has an implied decimal. It is always after the ones place. So sometimes a decimal is shown, sometimes it is not. In science, a shown decimal definitely means something more than if there is no decimal point shown. Okay? And we're going to find that out about sig figs in a minute. And a number can vary in a value from 0 to infinity. Okay? What's the largest number? Somebody says infinity, and then somebody else says infinity plus 1. There is no end to numbers. Okay? There is no end to them. Okay? And overall, a number can be positive or negative. Now again, in science, what kind of values do we very rarely have?
Negative.
We very rarely have negative. You cannot have a negative mass. You cannot have a negative volume. You cannot have a negative density, a negative specific heat. Now, we do use negatives at time. One of the ways we use negatives is when we talk about energy. Now, can you have a negative amount of energy? No. But what we use the negative for is to represent the direction energy may be flowing. So in other words, if we heat something up, we say that that's a positive energy because we added it to that substance, its temperature rose. If you remove energy from it to represent the direction of removing energy, you'll sometimes see it as a negative value. Okay? And the other thing, you can still do negative temperatures in Celsius and in Fahrenheit. Now, digits, ladies and gentlemen, digits are one single value within the larger number. Each of these is a digit within this number. And that digit represents the value of that place. So in the hundreds place here, the value of the hundreds place is 3 in this number. The value of the tens place is 6 in this number. The value of the thousands place is a 2 in this number. Okay? But that digit represents the value of just that one place. That is it. They are part of a number. They represent a place within the number. Okay? So are you talking about hundreds, tens, ones, tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s? What place within the number? Now, go ahead, leave.
I have a juggling box.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay. Now, digits can only be from 0 to 9. Because if you go to 10, what is it?
Another digit.
Well, it's 2 digits in your number then. So the value of digits can only be from 0 to 9. Okay? They don't have a sign. Digits cannot be positive or negative. The overall number can be positive or negative, but digits cannot. Okay? You would never put a negative sign in the middle of a number somewhere to represent a -6 in the tens place. Okay? Whoop. Okay, questions? All right. So, 403.602. How many digits? 6. What place is the last digit in? The thousands. Now again, if you do not like doing this, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not like writing out the thousands, the hundreds, we could represent this way. The tens, we could represent this way. The ones, we could represent this way. Then if we go to the right of the decimal, the tenths, 0.1. The hundredths, 0.01. And so on and so forth. So again, if you don't want to type out thousandths, I completely understand. Please use one of these that is appropriate. All right, 0.00325. How many digits in this number? 6. Now you could make a case for writing that with how many? 5. You technically do not need to put the 0 in front of the decimal. We do it in science so that we emphasize that decimal point, though, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You could write this same number with 5 digits. Thank you.
$10.
Yeah, well, you are the queen. You get to go every time we get dry ice from now
I
on.
just keep giving them the paper and saying, this is, I just, for the numbers, in case
Yeah,
I just want to
just
make it easier.
to look it up
just-
easier. That's
yeah,
a good plan. That's a good.
Yeah.
So here's the question: did you keep the one that I printed for you?
Yeah, I left it in my car.
Okay. Then why are there 2 here?
I don't know, did they give me 2 copies? Oh, did they? Or no, this is maybe the order and this is the.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever, that's the.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, I did keep that one
Okay, good.
for, you know.
Yeah, I know. What place is the last digit in? It's in the 100,000s. Very good. Okay. 560,000. How many digits? 6. Okay. Place of the last digit? Ones. Okay. There's a case of where it's an implied decimal. Okay. So, how many digits? 1.3625. 5. Place of the last digit? 10,000. Write me a number that has 4 digits, the last number in the ones place. Any number that has 4 digits, the last digit is in the ones place. Then write me a number with 7 digits, the last number is in the 100,000s place. And write me a number with 3 digits, and the last number is in the tenths place. All right, Daniela, what did you write down for 4 digits that ends in the ones place? Okay, but 4.0 would only have 2 digits. And it, okay, but 4 only has 1 digit. We're ending in the right place. Okay, so the way you would do this, ladies and gentlemen, the way I would do this, you have your 4 in the ones place, correct? Now put 3 digits in front of it, any digits you want. 1 more. 5694. 5,964. You need to write a number that begins in the thousands place, ladies and gentlemen. The thousands, and ends in the ones place to do this number correctly. Okay? Nadia, what you got for 7 digits and ends in the 100,000s place?
I put 4, 2, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4.
Okay. 3. Run that by me one more time.
4. I just wrote what's on the thing. I wrote 4, 2, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4.
Okay, which you're right. From here to here, you would have 7 digits, correct? But is this the 100,000s place?
I thought it was.
That's only the hundredths. So 100,000s would actually be 1 more.
Oh.
So now what you're going to do is we have to be 5 places beyond the decimal. All you're going to do is take your number and take the decimal, which is between the last, well, there's 2 digits after it. Make it so there are 5 digits after the decimal. So slide that decimal 3 places to the left. Okay? So you should end up with a number similar to, where did it go? Come back here.
Your mouse is.
I can't find it.
Who's doing it?
Where's it? There we go. Okay, there we go. You should have, here, I'll give you both of them right away. You should have ended a number like 51, 61, 71, 99, 12, 10, point 5 digits after the decimal. And again, here's what we were talking about earlier where we put in a little space here so that you could see how many places beyond the decimal it would be. If you're doing 3 digits to the tenths, it has to be a number in the tens place. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, point something. Okay? Questions? All right, good. So, significant figures are any digit within a number or measurement that has meaning. So it is really important when you take a measurement, ladies and gentlemen, that you write down all of the significant figures because those numbers have meaning. Those numbers have meaning to someone else who reads your measurement. Sir, your jacket either needs to go in your backpack or your locker, either one. Okay? Or you can leave it out in the hall, your choice. Okay, thank you. The digit that is reported, those digits are called significant figures. Significant figures include all known digits, plus you get to estimate one. You get to add 1 digit to a measurement, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, all non-zero digits are always significant. That covers what numbers? 1 through 9. So the only number we will ever question whether it is actually significant or not within a number is a 0. That is the only number that we will ever question. Now, there are 3 places that a 0 can appear in a number. Where are the 3 places that a 0 can appear within a number? Beginning, the middle of a number, or the end. You can have multiple zeros in those places as well. The beginning means before the first non-zero digit. If you have zeros at the beginning, the total value of the number is less than what?
1.
Less than 1. So 0.00. All 3 of those zeros are in the beginning. Okay? 0.7. The 0 before the decimal is in the beginning. Okay? Now, you can have multiple zeros at the beginning. The middle, ladies and gentlemen, means that somewhere to the left and somewhere to the right, there is a non-zero digit. It does not mean the exact middle of the number. The middle means there is a digit to the left and to the right of that 0 that are not zeros. So you can have multiple zeros in the middle of a number as well, ladies and gentlemen. And then the last place you can have zeros is at the end. And again, you can have multiple zeros at the end. Zeros at the end can be before the decimal, can be after the decimal, could be in both places. What it means is that after the last digit that is not a 0, all there are is zeros. Okay? Those are zeros that are at the end. Okay? Now, numbers may not have zeros in any of these places. But if they are, we treat them differently. So let's talk about zeros that are at the beginning. In each of these numbers, there are zeros at the beginning. Zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. They are necessary, but they are not significant. Why are they necessary? Without these zeros at the beginning, what would this number become? 369. That is a very different value than 0.000369. The zeros are there to make this digit be in the 10,000ths place. Okay? So they are needed, but they are not significant. So the 3 digits that are here, the 3, the 6, and the 9, they are the 3 sig figs in this number. They are the 3 sig figs in this number. In this number, we do not count the 2 zeros that are at the beginning, the one before the decimal and the one after. The 2 is the first non-zero digit. We start counting there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sig figs in this number, ladies and gentlemen. Here there is only 1 0 before the decimal, still not significant. This number has 2 sig figs. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, 0.06 has how many sig figs? Just 1. The zeros at the beginning never count. Questions? Now again, those zeros are needed to be there. Because without them, we can't write this to the 100th place, this to the 10th place, this to the 100th place, or this to the 10,000th place. So we have to put them there. Okay? The only way we could do this without those zeros in front would be to put these numbers into what? Scientific notation. Okay? We could put them into scientific notation and we could get rid of those zeros at the front. That's why they are not significant. Because in scientific notation, we wouldn't write those zeros. Okay? All right. So here, where are our zeros?
In the middle.
In the middle. There's a non-zero number before and after this zero. It is in the middle. Not right in the very middle, but in the middle. This one's in the middle as well, even though it's toward the back end of the number. Why? There's a non-zero digit on each side of it. Here you've got multiple zeros in the middle. But again, you've got a non-zero digit here with the 1 and a non-zero digit here with the 6. Here, they're after the decimal. Doesn't matter. They're still considered to be in the middle of the number. So that decimal does not change that those are in the middle. Yes, they're after the decimal, but it doesn't change that they're in the middle. Same thing here. One is before the decimal, one is after the decimal, but they are both considered in the middle. So zeros in the middle are always significant. Why? We had to measure the digit in front of it, and we had to measure the digits after it to get numbers for them, to get digits that are not zeros. So this first one, all 4 of those numbers are sig figs. In the second one, all 5 of those digits are sig figs, and here again, putting that space in there, making it easier for you to count how many digits there are here. How many sig figs here? 6. 5. 6. All 6 are significant. Questions, ladies and gentlemen? Now again, you can't keep this straight. I would be putting this down on my periodic table at some point in time. Zeros at the beginning, never significant. Middle, always significant. That only leaves zeros that are at the end, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, zeros at the end are sometimes significant. There are times where we count them and times when we don't. When do we count them, ladies and gentlemen? If the zeros at the end are significant, if, bless you, there is a decimal point shown anywhere in the number. Anywhere in the number. It doesn't matter if the zeros are before the decimal, after the decimal, or both. These 2 zeros are at the end because after the last zero, there is no digit that is not a zero. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. When you have a decimal actually shown in your number, it makes the zeros that are at the end, no matter how many of them there are, significant. So this first number, 4 sig figs. The second number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sig figs. This number, how many? 6 sig figs. And even though this is an unusual way of writing this number, the reason we put the decimal there is because it makes both of those zeros significant for a total of 4 sig figs. Okay? So yes, in science, you could write a number 20 point with nothing after the decimal. The reason we do that is it makes this number significant. This zero becomes significant then. Okay? That number becomes significant. It means you measured it, ladies and gentlemen. It isn't just there. It is an actual measured number. Okay. Zeros at the end, again, are sometimes significant. They are not significant if there is not a decimal shown somewhere in the number. Implied decimals do not count. I know that at the end here there should be a decimal, but that is an implied decimal. It does not count, ladies and gentlemen. Did they send you with a pass back, Jim? Hit the refresh and it'll pop up. Okay? So, in this case, when there are zeros at the end and there are no decimal, we don't count them. So this number only has 2 sig figs. The 3 and the 4. That's it. The zeros at the end do not count. This number, 3 million, 1 sig fig. That's it. 1 sig fig. 210,000, 2 sig figs. That's it. 8,960, 3 sig figs. Okay? So, that's it. That's all the rules on sig figs. That is all the rules on figuring out how many sig figs are in a number, ladies and gentlemen. If they're at the beginning of the number, we don't count them. If they're in the middle of the number, we count them. And if they're at the end, we sometimes count them. Decimal shown, count them. No decimal, don't. Okay? All right? Go through this right now, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me how many sig figs are in each one of these. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple. When you get a marker, you come up, you do whichever one you want on the board. When you're done, you take the marker, you hand it to whomever you want, and they have to come up and do the next one. Okay? You can't be like, no, I don't want to go. You come up and you do it. When you're done, you give your marker to somebody else. Questions? Good. Put it in your bag or wherever. I don't want to see it. By the way, this is also a game called You Find Out Who Your Friends Are, where when they hand you the marker and then they come up and do it and then they give it right back to you and then you go up and do it and you hand it right back to them. You can pick any number you want. This is the nice part about being early. Uh-huh. It is.
What do you think I was like robbing?
When you get back to your desk, put your phone in your backpack. That wasn't hard.
It was. I remember this.
Yes, but you did survived it well.
Don't you do it.
See, that's just inviting someone to give you the marker. That's just inviting someone to give you the marker. Don't you dare, don't you dare. Don't. Yeah, okay, you're getting the marker now.
Oh, he's like,
Besides, here's the thing. In a minute, no one's going to remember which one you did if you got it right or wrong.
Okay.
Except for Levi, who's going to point out if you got it right or wrong, Brindley, just so you know.
Well, if you put the same answer.
Okay, well, then you got a 50-50 chance of being correct.
What?
Well, you're either right or wrong, correct?
take it back to you.
So that's like a 50-50 chance.
That's pretty.
Good news, you each get to pick the last person to go because you each get to turn your marker over to somebody else. And that, oh, wait, no, there's 3 left up there. Ooh, all right. Somehow, Cynthia, I knew you were going to get picked. I just had that feeling.
There's 4.
There's 4 up there.
There's 4? Oh my gosh, there's 4. Keep going then. Cynthia has the chance to give it right back to Nadia.
Well, you can give it right back to someone?
Yes!
I didn't know that.
I said you can pick whomever you want. Whomever you want, you can pick, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now you can leave that one up there, Miro, because the Aiden's got the last one.
Stop.
Stop what?
Levi typed on my computer.
Levi.
You should kick him out of the class. Oh, oops. I'm just playing out. I don't know why that. Why was that
Okay.
one?
Don't count the zeros at the beginning. Count any digit that's not a zero, and count zeros at the end if there is a decimal point in the number. So how many of these digits do you think count as being significant?
Beginning?
Which two? Correct, those are for sure. Now the question is, is a zero at the end?
So
Is
it's
there a
like,
decimal
so
in the
if I
number?
put,
There's no decimal point in this number? Okay, then count the zero at the end.
well,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's review these real quick and let's see how you did. Okay? The top one here, ladies and gentlemen, there are. Well, wait, maybe I don't have the answers in here. Wait. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. 6. 6 is correct.
okay.
920.04. Yeah, correct. 0.000323. Yes, 3.
Who said no?
Zeros at the beginning never count. Zeros at the end do. Yes, Lee. 1.0024. 4. 0.0021. 1. Good. 6,120. 3. 0.2010. 4. Now we'll give the person who did this a break because they walked in really late on this. Okay, so again, digits that are not zeros, the 2 and the 1 are for sure significant. This one has zeros in all 3 spots. 0 at the beginning, significant?
No.
No, we don't count this. 0 in the middle, significant?
Yes.
We count it. And 0 at the end, significant?
Yes.
Why?
Decimal.
That's in the decimal.
Let's not say that.
There is a decimal.
Now, I understand what you're saying, Nadia, but I want to clarify. Because here we had a 0 that was before the decimal that was significant, right?
But there's no number. There's a number in front of it. That's why.
Well, there's
There's a decimal.
always going to be a number in front of the 0 at the end.
We're talking about the first one. I mean.
Okay, wait.
What?
Give me the number
Oh,
that you...
never mind. You're right.
What?
Never mind.
What is going on?
Okay,
I was
so
talking about
again,
the first one. Sorry.
and that's what people say. They sometimes... The reason I point that out is because they sometimes question it. Well, okay, these zeros are at the end and they're after the decimal, so that makes them significant. Agreed, but a 0 that is before the decimal, but still at the end of a number, is also significant.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page.
So if
Cynthia,
it's standing alone before or after the decimal doesn't count.
wait, run that by me again.
So if the 0 is standing alone before the decimal or after the decimal, it's not significant.
It is if there's a decimal shown and the 0 is at the end. Okay? So here the zeros are at the end. There is a decimal in here which makes both of them significant. It doesn't matter if they're before or after the decimal.
Okay, and then
Zeros at the beginning, not significant.
Okay.
I don't care how many there are. Zeros at the beginning, even though there's a decimal here, zeros at the beginning are never significant. And let's face it, the only time we will have zeros at the beginning is if there is a decimal number. You won't take 920 and put 920. Okay, you wouldn't do that, right? So, okay. So here, in the beginning, not significant. In the middle, yes, always. And at the end, yes, because of the decimal. So what you said was correct, Nadia. I just wanted to point out that the 0 just is at the end and there's a decimal.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it wasn't bad. You were exactly right. 90,203 sig figs, ladies and gentlemen. Here your zeros are at the end. Both of these zeros are at the end, but since there's no decimal, we don't count either one of them. Okay. The one in the middle we always count. We always count ones in the middle. Always. Here, this 0, middle or end or beginning?
Middle.
Middle counts. These zeros are at the end. Do they count?
Yes.
Because of the decimal.
Yes.
So there are 5 here. 16.0, zero's at the end, right? Does it count?
Yes.
Yes, all 3. 1 sig fig here?
Yep.
Absolutely. Zeros at the end don't count because there is no decimal point shown. Zeros at the end, right? They do count because a decimal point is shown. Where are these zeros?
Right in the middle.
So they count always. No question there. Always count. Beginning, middle, or end?
Middle.
Middle?
End.
Do they count?
Yes.
Because of the decimal, all 5 of them do. 160, zeros where?
End.
End, does it count?
No.
Nope. Because of the fact that there's no decimal. Questions? Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, in Google Classroom right now, there is an assignment waiting for you. Sorry. It is the significant figure worksheet. I'm sorry, it's going to be further down in Google Classroom. I should have moved it to the top for you when I assigned it today, but I didn't, and I don't think me moving it right now will do anything unless you refresh your screen. Sure, it's right there. Okay, so open up this worksheet, ladies and gentlemen. This worksheet is going to be due tomorrow. Now, up at the top, it just explains a lot of what we just talked about. But here, ladies and gentlemen, here you can get into doing how many sig figs in each of these like we just did. And then at the very end, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to write a number with 5 digits and zeros at the beginning and the end. Now, it doesn't say how many sig figs, right?
No.
It just says 5 digits. So no more than 5 digits. And you have to have a 0 in the beginning and at the end of the number, at least 1. So you need to follow whatever is written as far as what you're supposed to be doing, as far as the numbers goes, as best as you can. So if I were you and it said 5 digits and zeros at the beginning or the end, I would write your number first. If it then says that your number has to be less than 1 or greater than 1, that means you're going to have to put a decimal in it possibly somewhere. Okay? So we're going to give you some time to work on this. What did I want to say before that? On these ones, where it ends in a certain place, that's where I would begin with my last digit. I would begin in that place, and then I would put numbers in front of it so that you get the right numbers, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to try that. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Which ones of these might be difficult? Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you to do with scientific notation, ladies and gentlemen. For scientific notation, ignore that.
Can we delete it?
No, don't delete it because it is there for a reason. But when you're looking for sig figs with scientific notation, look at the part that is before the times 10 to the. That will determine your sig figs. And by the way, that E button or that E sign there, that is an old-fashioned way of doing scientific notation. Before they had typesetting that could let you do superscripts and subscripts, they used to use an E. 4 times 10 to the some power. Okay? Go, ladies and gentlemen, go. If you have questions, if you need help, please call me over. I will be more than happy to come over and assist you. If something is not making sense, I am coming. I'm on my way right now because you seem very, very excited about something.
Is this 1 or 2?
It's 1 or
3.
2. Well, I don't know. Yes, 1 and then the 0 after. Yes. zeros at the end of the number. And there's decimal. Remember, the zeros at the end. Zeros at the beginning we never count. In the middle we count always, and at the end we get the decimal. Correct. Correct. If there's a reason you guys don't do it, that's the beginning. That doesn't count. That's it. The zero at the end is the decimal.
Yeah.
So the zero at the end counts.
There's no decimal.
Okay.
It's in the middle.
Good. I'm glad you caught that because you were right about the decimal things, but those zeros are in the middle. So really you gotta ask yourself, where are the zeros? Beginning, middle, or end? I'll take the 2-year-old, the blue on the side. And I'll let you make it give because that is 30,000 times bigger. But I'll take those. I'll take that same 2-year-old kid, I'll give him a basketball, but I'm taking it here, making the ball into the basket. But the target of the ball in the basket is twice the size of the ball and going the wrong direction. Soccer, anybody can do it. Okay, I didn't put Shaq there defending the kid when he's trying to shoot a basket. And
Always a goalie. There's enough of something to
Exactly.
really, always a goalie. The goalie's never out of position somewhere else, and it's an easy shot. Whatever. Whatever.
That's like saying you're gonna put someone above the
You're right. Scoring a goal in basketball does need both of those things. This is not because you're wrong about this. That would not do. But somebody right next to you. Someone's like, I don't know if it is. Or at least somebody has a charging point.
If I email them and say, hi, blah, 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 hi, blah, blah, blah. Okay, how about this? Hi, blah, blah, blah. Hi, thank you. Why are you saying hi? I signed up for it. I signed up. I was already going something on the rest and I'm not trying to. So, really embarrassing.
You're gonna go with it.
And then, I have also, besides, I don't know. I don't know. I That's crazy. Yeah, because you were the This is an honor. Yes, you have five credits. No, sorry. You have 5 credits plus an 8th grade. Yeah, that's why how do I say that? This?
Hold on.
I 13. Oh, I know. I have 13.5 credits as of 9th grade and middle school. How do I know that? How do I know that they did not perform
The only thing that is that that's because we wouldn't put zero.
Oh, I see. So I'm good for math.
Points.
Wait. Oh, okay.
So we would do 0 points. You still have your 2 6 6.
Oh, we got the gym too.
That's the next thing.
You also see that because all those zeros in the beginning.
That's
I'm really good
So
for
what you did is fine. You could put as many zeros as you want in front of it.
I love that.
Have 14 credits.
I just need I just need one more credit.
And we got to slide that. That's all.
How do you have notes?
Write the number 0 zeros. So the number more zeros. Okay. This is so we need a number bigger. All right. Who's the other? Next. Okay, here's what I would do. So start out with a number in the decimal point in the number. Okay, so now you're in the tenth school.
Did you graduate early?
So now, how many more these things do you need to?
Really? That's can only take
You only need, you only have 5 things. Slow down.
I don't, I could just come here and then go back home. For like, it's not skipping.
No, you still have to schedule. Okay? Now, let's this number end in the tens.
Yes.
No, you can do the tens.
Oh my god.
Just the 11 question.
1 0. Make that number to the head. Like, I'm gonna do this.
I won't like that.
Okay.
Oh wait, I figured it out. 2 comma. What is that?
So, they will make it.
Oh my goodness. I think you guys shut up for a second.
Zeros. Where do they have to be part of your number that's not significant? See, this is 4. Because this number is greater than 1. Where does the 0?
I don't want
Yes. Okay, what? Because I'm going to show you something.
Okay. All right. So the question that you are asking me is about a number that ends in the tens place. Okay? A number that ends in the tens place. Okay? And then has a certain amount of sig figs. So what I would do is I would begin by writing a number. Give me a count by tens from 100 to, or from 10 to 100, Cynthia.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90, 100.
Cynthia, that is amazing that you can do that. You threw your voice, it sounded like it came right from Nadia. Okay, give me one of those again. 80. So we're going to write that number down.
You guys got the point.
Okay? We're going to write that number down. You guys are going to kill me. You really are. Okay, so we write down the number 80.
So 80.
Okay. How many digits does this, how many sig figs does this have?
3.
1. The 0 does not count. So now, where can I add 2 more digits to be significant? There you go.
That doesn't make sense.
Did you do the second?
You're lying.
Okay, what do you mean it doesn't make sense? That is a number that ends in the tens place that has 3 sig figs.
How does that?
How does it what?
Are we supposed to have like a decimal?
No, because then the number wouldn't end in the tens place because that would make the one. No, you're talking about tens. I'm talking about tens. 1 0. That's where we're having a confusion. Okay?
E-N-S.
T-E-N-S, not T-E-N-T-H-S.
And then
All right.
the next one is thousands.
Thousands or thousandths?
Thousand.
Okay, so put a number. Give me a number that is 1,000.
1,000.
Okay, 1,000. Now put other digits in front of it because you'll get to the number of sig figs and you will end up in the thousands place.
I put 0.0889.
No, that's not the. Okay, are you saying thousandths with a TH or thousands with a?
T-H.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was the other way. Okay,
So it's 0.0889. Right?
so
No, it's
1,
not.
2, 3, thousandths place. I'm gonna put a digit there. Does it say it has to end with a 0?
No, it says a number with 3 6 figs that ends in
The 10,000s? Jared, we'll get to yours tomorrow.
That was right.
Okay, we'll get. If you don't listen, the assignment is not due till tomorrow. If you don't get it done, come in tomorrow. We'll talk about the ones that you're struggling with a little bit. What?
Come right now.
And then just add like a single number at the end.
Okay, so hold on. Nadia, look. 10,000ths place, right? Tenths. hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Correct. 4 beyond the decimal.
Oh, that dude forgot.
Let's
Yeah.
put a let's put a number here.
I don't know.
6.
That sucks.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So let's put a 6 there. How many sig figs does this number have to have?
3.
Okay.
I wrote
So
0.00.
What if
Nope.
we just
No, that's not right.
wait? I know
point
it's
zero
right, I know
zero
it's right.
eight nine.
Is this one right? Look, look, look.
You're expecting me to see that?
Shoot, here you go.
10,000. No, that is perfect.
That's fine? Okay.
That is perfect. Yes. 8, 9. There you go. So if you start at the last place and put a sig fig there, then the number of sig figs, you just put it in front to get to the total number of sig figs
Is
you
the last one right as well? Just 889.
want. 3 sig figs. No, that one we got to talk about.
That one?
Because that's ending in the ones place, not the hundredths. Hundredths place.
So
We will talk about it tomorrow. Go to your next class. So you're
dude,
not
I
here.
wanted to finish it right now.
Yeah, I finished it. Is this right? With the last two, just the last two.
Yes and no.
What do you mean no?
No for the last one. No means no. No means it's not right. Give me my charger and go to your next class. Go,
It
go,
has
go, go, go.
3 sig figs.
Yes, but it doesn't end in the hundreds place. It doesn't end in the hundreds place.
Well,